Now this is big. Welcome back to my channel. I'm coming back with another Disney update. So it seems that the parks have issued some guidelines and some phases. So let's get to it. All right, looking at these guidelines for reopening, it looks like they announced it for Orange County. So I haven't really seen anything for Disneyland, but I'm just excited because we're having a conversation, as I said in my previous video. If you have not seen that video, make sure you watch that video where I was talking about the preliminary conversation, but it seems like this update is a solid update from the parks. So we have, what's interesting is we have updates from the hotel. So phase 1, we have housekeeping services will be limited and they will allow minimal guests. So that's going to be interesting. Also in phase 1, mobile check-in, housekeeping services only clean upon request or when guests depart. So that's going to be a change that's happening. You get service and you get service daily unless you put your do not disturb sign on, but after that 3rd day they have to come in. Room service will be left at the guest doors. So it seems like they're taking a really hands-off approach to customer service, which is kind of interesting and sad at the same time. So phase 1 and phase 2, basically the staff that are 65 and over are encouraged to stay home. Now, how weird is that? So here you are as a staff member in these hotels, reopening of the parks. They're saying, hey, we appreciate you and everything, but we're asking that you stay home. So that's significant. That's the hotel guide. Mandates, that's the part that I wanted to get to. So the mandates, all employees are now going to be required to wear face masks. And I see that everywhere. When we're picking up food, going around, we're now seeing more and more people are requiring masks. Company's prerogative, of course, but for me, I'm okay with it as long as they don't try to mandate each citizen has to wear a mask. This is getting exhausting. Hand sanitizer at each entry, and I think there's hand sanitizer as you walk through in different places in the park. So that's different, but not so different. Temperature checks for staff prior to, now this is big. So I know that in China, they were doing temperature checks. So this is what's very interesting. Disney is now saying that they're going to be doing temperature checks on their staff members before they come in. But now we know the temperature was like the first indicator of the coronavirus, but now there's just so many things that they've been coming out with, like, oh, this is now a symptom, that's a symptom. So to me, the temperatures are I don't know, it's a moot point to be checking temperature. This is the one I don't like. The front desk will now use sneeze guards. It's just becoming very weird to go different places. We went to Home Depot and grocery stores and stuff, and they have like the sneeze guards up. Really weird to me. It's just really weird, and I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Mini bars will not be stocked. That's going to make some of you sad. Remove all coffee. Wow. So they're removing all coffee makers. They're removing guest collateral items except single use. So basically coffee pots, microwave, different things that when you go into a hotel, it's usually standard. And for us, I make sure that those things are in the hotel. No, you're not getting that unless it's a single use item. Wow. So maybe like your toothbrushes and different things like that. But if it's something that it usually goes into a hotel room and you use it over and over, no more. Disney said no more. Sanitize bell carts after each use. That's going to be annoying because number one, when you go to a hotel, the bell carts are not plentiful unless you're doing you're using a bellman. They'll bring your luggage up to your room. Oh, phase 1 and phase 2 in hotels, they are not offering conferences. So do not contact your hotel saying that you want a conference and a conference package. Not happening. Now let's go into the theme park. So that's the hotels, which is a significant part of the Disney experience. So if you're wondering, oh, why is she reading about the hotels? Because the majority of people that visit those parks, or a large part of the park visits, are people from out of town. And usually when you book your ticket, you're literally going to book your hotel. So as far as the theme parks are concerned, they're going to have tape marking 6 feet apart for the rides and the attractions. It's going to be cumbersome. It's going to be annoying. Because even when I'm checking out at Target and they have those little circles saying this is how far you need to be apart, please stand here. I cannot imagine a packed park with tape and everything telling people to stand 6 feet apart. How? How Disney, how you gonna pull that off? Staff to regularly wipe down surfaces at random. To me, that's what they should have been doing anyway. I know that they haven't. The Disney theme parks aren't the dirtiest places as far as like gooey. Historically, they did a really good job making sure that the railings were clean and that the park itself was clean. So to add this is not something that's significant in the sense of the aesthetic of the park, but as far as the sanitation, yeah, I think that that's significant that they're wiping things down periodically, because Disney is on it when it comes to the cleanliness. I mean, they're right there. People are there sweeping, and it's great. Phase 1 and 2 staff who are 65 and older, again, are encouraged to stay home. The theme parks are now asking in that phase 1 and phase 2, hey, if you're 65 and over, you're going to have to stay home, which is kind of sad because I must admit, there are a lot of senior citizens that work for Disney. And so it's just going to be very concerning because at this point, yes, they're losing income, but how sad is that the park reopens and it doesn't reopen without you and you're out of a job. So, man, that's sad. All employees required to wear face masks. So again, here it is with the face mask. Like if you are going back to work for Disney, you're going to have to wear a face mask. Touchless hand sanitizer at each ticket entry and turnstile. So that's going to be interesting because I don't remember that being there. Touchless hand sanitizer in each ride attraction, entry and exit. Very, very interesting because no, that wasn't there before, because I always would carry my own hand sanitizer, and literally on and off the ride, I put on my hand sanitizer. So it's going to be, that's a welcome. Like some of these things are things that should have been implemented before. They're going to be checking temperatures for the staff prior to their shift. 101.4 must not enter the premises. So that's, to me, is going to cause a backlog. Again, Disney is going to have to be super efficient because of the size of the park and the amount of employees that they have to make this thing go smoothly and be operable. I'm going to have to really, really watch and see how they open this phase. I know that I'll be able to see it when I go to Disneyland, but I'm just going to have to see my Disney friends that go to Disney World and just see the differences and see how that rolls out. Just checking temperatures and all that, that's going to be time consuming. So I don't know if they're going to have to report earlier, an hour earlier for their shift so that they can get through that turnstile. We'll see. Disney's pretty cool about managing people, so we'll see. Phase 1, we're looking at 1 to 50% capacity. Again, if you haven't watched my previous video, I explained a little bit about what the capacity would look like at 50%. 50% capacity at a regular busy Disney day is very significant. Typically, 50% capacity is a very slow day. It's a day that we love. Those that go to Disney regularly, we love those days because you get to go on the ride that you want to go on. Phase 2 is going to be 2 to 75% capacity. Again, 75% capacity is not 100%, but it's just, to me, that's a typical day, Disney day. So if you didn't watch my video where I talked about I spoke about what those days look like. So a 50% capacity day would be a day where it's 2 days before a holiday and we decided to get to Disney a little bit early and it's a ghost town. I would say that's what 50% capacity is. It's where you will still be able to get on the rides that you want to go. You're kind of like owning the park. There's people there, but everyone's just there and we're just happy that we got there before the mad rush. To me, 75% capacity is probably the day before a holiday. If you don't know, most holidays are really not the best time to go to Disney. We do spend holidays in Anaheim, and Orlando, but on the actual holiday, whether it's Christmas, Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, I stubbed my toe. We just think of holidays the reason to go to Disney. But those days, you do not want to be in the park typically because it is a madhouse, especially on Christmas. We've done Christmas in the parks and it was a madhouse, and it was one and done, and I think we did it twice, and we were like, okay, we're not doing that again. We're not going on the actual Christmas day. We're talking about the difference between 50% capacity and 75% capacity. They both are very significant when you're talking about riding rides and just maneuvering through Disney. It's just very interesting to see, and I can't wait to see what these days are going to look like. I gotta be honest with you, as much as I love Disney, as much as I miss going to Disney, And as much as, you know, we discussed going as a family, my husband and I don't think once we implement this rollout, these phases, I don't think I'm going to be in the first phase, the first few numbers, because I think it's just going to be a madhouse trying to get there. I know me, I'm an organizer. I like to get there, and I could just see in my head. It's going to be like when the different rides open up and you have to be in those queues. So that means you're going to have to get up at 4 or 5 to get in line to be a part of that 50% capacity. I don't know. I may be up for an adventure that weekend, but as of right now, I don't even have time for the headache. The mandates. Again, hand sanitizer at every table. So now we're at the restaurants, it sounds like. Yep. So we're at the restaurants. These are the restaurant guides, paper disposable menus. And we see that now. We do takeout in different places, and they're not giving you their regular plastic menus, so they're paper. Encourage takeout orders. Touchless sanitizer in the entries. So it's the same thing. And again, unfortunately, 65 and above, that you're encouraged to stay home. So I feel like some of the vulnerable population in America, they are going to be the most hardest hit economically as a result. Even when America opens back up, it's almost like we're going to have a bunch of senior citizens that are used to working, that need to work. Unfortunately, in our country, they're going to be encouraged to stay home. What are they going to do? And that's really sad. We're going to have hand sanitizer at every table, which for me, I will definitely bring my own, because I always think about, okay, I'm pumping this hand sanitizer. What about the last hand that pumped it? It's still not 100%. Like, it's just not. All employees, again, are going to be encouraged to wear face masks. So here's the thing. If you're not self-employed and making that a mandate for your employees, if you're planning on going back into the workforce, you may as well get used to wearing masks. That's just what the bottom line, what I'm seeing around town. You're going to wear a mask. So you may as well get it made, order it, do whatever you need to do. That's going to be the new norm for a while. You're going to have to wear a mask. Whether you're working at a shoe store, whether you work, no matter where you're working, you may as well. Temperature checks, again. So reading through doors wiped regularly. You should be doing that anyway. So again, I think that some of these things are mandates that should have been happening anyway. Phase 1 is limited restaurant bar capacity. Again, 50%. Oh, seated tables, 6 feet apart. Bartenders to sanitize hands after making each drink. Like, that's a lot. Why would they need to sanitize their hands after making each drink if they're the only ones making the drink? I don't know. Because you make the drink, you sit it on the bar. It's not like you have to touch someone's hand to give them a drink. Unless they're thinking about the bottles and different shifts of bartenders touching the bottle. Is that what we're doing? I guess. It's going to be weird to have tables 6 feet apart in a restaurant. Not only is it going to be weird, that's going to cut the capacity to restaurants in half. Again, people are taking a hit as a result of this coronavirus and these phases and these mandates that are being rolled out in the reopening phases. All staff behind counters must wear gloves except bartenders. So there you go. So the bartenders are not wearing gloves. So now I guess that's where the next one, where they have to wash their hands after each drink. But it's so funny. All staff behind counters must wear gloves. Weren't you guys doing that before? I guess not. Again, I think that's a mandate that should have been in place anyway. So apparently it's not. I don't know. So that's the update for Disney. You know what? Let me go to my app. So I got that from an article. Let me go to my Disney app, which I open every now and then. Like, I'm not among the people that watch videos of the empty park. Like, I did think one day, I was like, man, we should just drive to California. We should just drive and see what it's like, you know. But I don't want to mess around and get stuck in California. Nor do I just want to take a whole road trip just to look at Disney and cry. So I'm not. I'm going to open up this Disney app. So I'm in my Disney app, and every now and then, I'm a sucker for punishment. It literally says temporary closure of Disneyland Resort. And I deleted my Walt Disney World app. I usually keep that up if we're on our way to fly there. But other than that, I close it. But I'm pretty sure it says the same thing. You open up the app, it pretty much says and shows the park closed. Let's go. It's so sad. It just says that we're living in unprecedented times, and just stay tuned. So we still have tickets that we have to get honored. Coming soon, Avengers Campus. That is your update. That is your new Disney update. Again, I'm excited that the conversation is at least beginning to happen. We have a more cohesive and concrete details about the reopening. So it looks like we are with phase 1 and phase 2. And it's just exciting to know that, again, we're talking about the reopening. Some things are very sad. You know, shout out to the employees that are 65 and over. I feel like they're getting the short end of the stick. Again, if you are an employee that works there, you may as well get your mask ready and get your gloves. I'm pretty sure they're going to supply gloves. Maybe they should. But I think you're going to have to get a mask. And knowing Disney, they probably will have uniform masks. I can see them giving their employees masks because everything else is so uniform. I can't imagine this person wear black. That I can't see that. But again, if you work retail, you may as well get used to it. I feel like that's going to be standard. The whole checking the temperature, as much as some of us don't like it, I feel like it's going to be standard. That's going to be the new norm. Getting temperatures checked, getting your mask. So that's where we're at. Like, that's where we're at in America. As weird as it is, as intrusive as some people think it is. I don't know. I just call it weird. As weird as it is, that's where we're at. So thanks for watching to the very end. I hope you enjoyed this Disney update. Leave a comment down below and let me know if you are ready to see Disney open. Also, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you're going to be in that first phase. Like, if you're there. Like, you're there. The opening, Disney's like, oh, we're opening June 1st. I'm there. Let me know. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to risk it all for that first weekend because I can't deal with the crowds and just the madhouse and waking up super early just to doggone get in line to be told no. And then what's going to happen is they're going to have like a clicker system. So if you don't get in that first opening, when the park first opening, rope drop, as they say, you're going to have to wait around until people leave, and then they'll let the next 25 to 30. Nope, not me. So with that being said, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe as I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And please like, share, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.